Hello all, welcome to yet another episode of podcast in Madlookz VFX. We have Israel Rangreji with us today, and he has an awesome YouTube channel for Unreal and Blender tutorials. I guess most of you already know him. Let's jump into the podcast. So, hi Israel, welcome to the podcast.
Hey man, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So let's start. For all the listeners, can you give a casual intro about yourself?
Okay, so I'm a game developer and a 3D artist. I work in the game industry, and I also have a YouTube channel called Pinkpocket TV, where I make videos about game development, 3D stuff like Blender videos, Unreal Engine videos, so stuff like that. So mostly about gaming and game development. I also have some reaction videos there, so
yeah,
I put everything that I like. I just make videos about anything that I like.
Yeah, I like the content, man. I like the content in Pinkpocket TV.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Can you tell us about your educational background and all those things?
Okay, so I have a bachelor's degree in game development, and yeah, that's it. Pretty much, I'm self-taught. So like all the things that I've learned it on my own. There are some good sources. Like YouTube is a very good source for learning game development.
Yeah,
I feel that YouTube is the best source. Like paid
best source for everything.
Best source for everything. Best source for information in general. So like it is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I learned Blender and Unreal Engine from YouTube. Like I'm learning this since I was in 8th grade.
Oh wow.
So yeah. I first started Blender when I was in 8th standard, and now like Blender is reached like way ahead.
Yes.
But back then it was not widely used. So now like I've used 50 versions of Blender. I've changed around 50 versions.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So can you tell more about your channel, like the history of channel, when you started, and the level of content you're making?
So I started this channel. I don't remember exactly, but I started it in 2017, sometime in 2017. And I used to upload casual videos about like game. I used to stream games back then.
Okay.
With friends, yeah. All of that is private now. But yeah, those were pretty bad. Then I started uploading tutorial videos, educational videos. I wanted to share my talent on YouTube. Like I wanted to share what I knew about 3D and game development. So like I started making videos about Blender first, and people like them. Like people like Blender videos, so I started making more videos. And then I've now transitioned into Unreal Engine, and there's a lot of stuff that you can like explore. There's a lot of softwares. Like I know, like I'm also into 2D game development, into Android Android stuff. Yeah, Android app development. So like you can expect videos on that. I'm going to make more stuff related to that. So there are a lot of opportunities on YouTube.
Got it. Cool. So like everywhere now we are speaking about Unreal Engine, and you also shifted from Blender tutorials to Unreal Engine tutorials.
Yeah, I did.
So according to you, what is the future of filmmaking if we are using Unreal Engine?
Filmmaking, yeah. Unreal Engine is widely used in the industry today itself. Filmmakers use it. So I don't know if you know this, but the Mandalorian uses UE4.
That's what I was.
Mandalorian, the Star Wars
That's what I was curious.
Yeah. That uses UE4. It uses UE4 for virtual production. So UE4 is pretty fast because most of the softwares that you use in VFX are traditionally ray traced. Like you have to wait for one frame to render.
Understood.
Like one frame takes 30 minutes to render on a like decent computer. But Unreal Engine changes things. Like it's real time, so you are literally getting like 60 frames per second, and you are getting the same quality that a ray traced engine gives you. So it is pretty cool. Like Unreal Engine has also been used for the Superman show, the Superman and Lois show. You might know that. It's the latest DC show that they're using it for. Yeah, so filmmakers use it, and it is pretty easy. Like I've also explored the filmmaking tools, and it is pretty easy and quite powerful. They are very powerful. Like you can create some very good looking things very fast.
Yeah,
like it is very good. Yeah, Unreal Engine is very good.
Even when I started Unreal Engine, I was like shocked to see the level of quality we are getting in the real time. So
the real time
future is really unpredictable.
Real time engines. It is exciting because with UE5 they introduced Nanite and they introduced Lumen. So basically that is real time GI. So no baking of light maps and no normal maps. You can just take your ZBrush models and you can put them in the engine. Wow. So billions of polygons, you can render them in real time. So that is pretty cool.
So can you define in simple terms like what is Lumen and what is Nanite?
Yeah, so basically Unreal Engine Epic Games, they introduced these two things which are like literally game changers. So they introduced Nanite, which is a polygon decimator. So it basically it is a LOD system. So when the camera is closer to an object, it like changes LODs very fast. So like it makes different meshes of different quality. So high poly, low poly, then a lower polygon version, and then it is changing LODs so fast that you are not realizing. So Nanite, people say that Nanite can render billions of triangles, but actually it is just decimating objects like in real time. And Lumen is their new lighting system and reflection system. So UE5 had it had ray tracing, I think, like real-time ray tracing for reflections and for lighting, but that was really quite slow. So like they introduced Lumen, and it is a complete changed system for lighting and for reflections. So now you don't need to bake any lighting, just you get reflections, good quality reflections, without baking your light maps.
Wow.
Like if you just put a point lamp, you can have like 100 point lights and you will get like all the lighting in real time with reflection. So if you have a object which is like quite reflective, like you will get all of those reflections. So in real time.
Wow. Yeah. So no need to bake that.
No need to bake, no need to wait for anything.
Wow.
Like it's very fast.
That is very powerful.
Yeah.
Got it.
And UE5 also has like I wanted to talk about this. UE5 also has matte options. So it has for VFX artists, you can render different what do you say render layers, like it's blender mattes. So matte.
Got it.
So it has support for that. So then you can render from UE5 and then you can take it into a VFX software, and then you can have all that data and then you can use it inside After Effects or like DaVinci Resolve.
Got it. That's awesome.
That is pretty powerful. So you have post tools also, like you can use that information, you can embed that information, like, and you can use it into like post tools.
Got it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very much inspiring, man. So thanks for sharing all these details. So I have yet another question. Like we have spoken a lot about Unreal Engine. So what are some of the major differences between Blender and Unreal Engine? Both are free softwares, I know that. So software wise, what are the major differences?
Okay, so I'll just say the history also. I'll just tell people who don't know about the history of these.
We would love to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. So Blender was made around like it was made as an in-house render engine, and it was made in 1990s. It was in the 90s, so late 90s. I guess I have made a video about this. So like the history of Blender.
Okay, we will share that in the description of this video.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So it was made as an in-house animation tool because Maya existed back then. Like Maya was the industry standard, and it is still today, like it is the industry standard. So Blender has evolved quite a lot. It was released as an open source software. So the community basically made it, like the community built it, and so it's pretty cool. So it's backed by the community. So and UE5 and Unreal Engine was not free. Like it is being open sourced recently. Like it was not free. If you go back 5 years back, it was not free. Like it was not open source. So they open sourced it, and then pretty much everyone used it. Like, and UE5 is a game engine. Blender is not a game engine. Like you can do pretty much everything in Blender. You can do VFX, you can do animation, you can do 2D things also. But you can't make games. But you can't make games. And Blender has different render engines. It has a real-time renderer too, and it has their cycles renderer, which is quite powerful. But Unreal Engine is a game engine, so it was used for making games. It was made by a company who makes games, like Epic Games.
Epic Games, yeah.
This was also made in around the late 90s.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
this was made for, both are very old softwares. And Unreal Engine was made for a game called Unreal Tournament back then.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, so it was made for that. So it was an in-house engine, and then they made it public. So they made it public and open source for people to use, and it is by far the best software out there, like for
Got it.
games and for everything in general.
Yeah.
Like it is very good.
So what is your view about Unity software? I think both Unity and Unreal Engine are
I have
almost...
a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I have a lot of experience in Unity. I have like 5 years of experience in Unity.
Yeah.
And I feel that Unity is good for what it does. Like Unity is good for 2D games. Like it's good for that. Like if you want to make a app for mobile or something, like you can use Unity, and it is very easy to learn. Like it's not intimidating for beginners. If you're starting out, Unity is the best option. But Unreal Engine is way better than Unity. Like I've used both of them, and I have more experience in Unity than I have in Unreal Engine.
Okay.
But Unreal Engine makes it way easier. Like you can do a lot of things very quickly inside Unreal Engine.
Awesome.
I like Unreal Engine is better than Unity.
Thank you for sharing all these details. So according to like I know you're from game development and all these things, so which are some of your favorite games, and can you tell us more about those games, like its history and its development and all these things?
Yeah, so I have favorite game franchises. One of my favorites is Dark Souls. It's from a Japanese video game creator. So it's from Hidetaka Miyazaki. The studio is called From Software. It's located in Japan. So like it is pretty cool. I like the game's name is Dark Souls. So they've made a lot of their games are quite unique from the from the people who are like from the common game studios. Their games are very unique, and their game design is also very unique. Like they make unique games. They really stand out, and they got a game of the year also for their latest game, Sekiro. They got a game of the year for that. Yeah, it is. Now they are a major player in the video game market.
Okay, cool. So now everybody is talking about Blender and Unreal Engine, but most of the studios uses Maya, 3ds Max and all this software. So how do you see the future is going to be for Maya, Cinema 4D and 3ds Max? I know it's a controversial question, but just curious to know your view about this.
Okay, so yeah, Maya will be the industry standard because like it has always been the industry standard. Maya is quite stable. Blender is not that stable. Like Blender crashes a lot because but it gets away because it is made by the community, right? So like it can get away with that. It's not a paid program like Maya is. And I've used both of them. I've used Maya, I've used Max. Like I use Max more than Maya. Like I like Max because Max and Blender have the same coordinate system. So the Z-axis is like oriented in the same way, but in Maya the Z-axis is oriented in a different way. So if you're using Maya goes well with Unity, but if you're using Blender and Max, it goes good with Unreal Engine. So the import things are quite easy that way. But Maya will remain the industry standard. But now newer studios are adopting Blender for their animation and rendering needs. Like out of India also, I've seen many studios that are using Blender. And you can do more things in Blender than Maya. Like Blender is very versatile. You can do a lot of things. Like you can't model in Maya, I think. You can model in Maya?
Yes, we can do.
You can. You can't sculpt in Maya.
Sculpting is not there, I guess. I mean, I am not a pro in Maya, so
organic. Yeah, I've not explored. Yeah, you can, of course, you can do hard surface modeling in both of them, but you can't sculpt organic characters. Like, but in Blender you can do that.
Yeah.
So in Blender you can do both hard surface and like soft organic modeling.
Yeah.
So Blender is quite versatile.
Mm.
Like you can do pretty much everything in Blender. If you want to texture an object, you can do it in Blender.
Yeah.
So suppose texture painting.
Got
Like, you
it.
don't need to go to Substance Painter or like any other program.
So, I mean, what about Cinema 4D? Did you use
Yeah,
Cinema
I've
4D
used
anytime?
C4D. Yeah, I've used Octane. It's so like it is very very good. Like the Cinema 4D is good. It is good for beginners, I feel, because you just press a bunch of buttons and it is always very easy to make things look good in 3D. And Cinema 4D has a lot of potential. It has been used in the industry, and like it is pretty good. I've used it. It's good.
Yeah. So according to you, are there any limitations for Blender regarding the pipeline and all these things?
Yeah, this depends on what you're doing. Like if you are into, like, it depends on what softwares you are using. Like in game development, if you want to use something, I will tell you that Blender is the best thing that you can use, because you can pretty much do anything in Blender. So you can make an asset. If you want to make an asset, you can make it in Blender, and then you can export it. You can texture it. You can do everything inside Blender, and then you can export it. So the exporting process becomes very easy. But for VFX, I feel Cinema 4D works well. Like After Effects and Cinema 4D is used quite a lot. In motion graphics also, those both things are used very, those both things are very good to use.
Got it.
The pipeline is very easier that way.
I mean, we discussed about Maya, Cinema 4D, 3ds Max, Blender, Unreal, and all these things. And we discussed that Blender and Unreal are open source also. So any company can adapt that just by downloading the software. So how open softwares like Blender and Unreal makes profit as a production or as a software, or how they are going to make profit in the future?
Yeah, both of them are backed by the community, as I said. So both of them work on, like, especially when it comes to Blender, it has always been the donations. Like people donate, companies donate, and they give money to the Blender Foundation. And Blender works that way. Like they then appoint developers, and Blender is constantly evolving and constantly growing. But Unreal Engine, the case with Unreal Engine is very different. Unreal Engine was made for games, as I said, particularly, and it was an in-house engine for a long time. It was a commercial engine. Like just 5 years ago, they made it public. They made it open source. They changed the license, but yeah, so they had earned a lot of money back. Like Epic Games has a lot of money. Like it is a very big corporation, and Tencent owns 70% of its shares, I think. Tencent, the Chinese game company.
Investor company.
So that company owns its shares, and so they had a lot of money. But Unreal Engine today works on, it's open source. So Epic Games only makes it, but I don't know how the like commercial things work there, because it's not like people don't donate. It's not a foundation. I don't know how that works.
Do you think like it's gonna be free in the future also, or are they going to change the plans?
Yeah, UE will always be free. Unreal Engine will always be free. Because they've made it open source, like, and it's good. Like they're earning money from that. Like widely, it's being used.
Maybe they can earn from the marketplace.
They earn from the marketplace. Marketplace is a huge chunk of money that they get.
That's a good point. So I'm curious to know about cloud rendering. So how is cloud rendering useful for artists, especially 3D artists or game developers, and which are some of the best options according to you?
I have used a cloud renderer before. I have used iRender, and the thing with cloud rendering is it works. You pay them, and then they render it, and they give you all the rendered frames. But it's very costly. Like it's very costly, especially for an individual. there are no free options for cloud rendering.
Okay.
I don't think there are. You can, like, there are workarounds. You can use Google's. I don't know if I've used that, but I had heard it recently that Google made a like cloud-based computer, and then you can use that graphic cards to like render it in the cloud, and then you can download it. But then you have to write a bunch of code for that. Like you can do it using Amazon's servers also, but then you need to know how that AWS thing works. So Amazon Web Services. So you need cloud rendering is good, but for individuals like us, like we don't have the money that like it's costly. It is very costly. Have you tried cloud rendering? It is very costly.
Okay, no, I didn't try it, but I saw some tutorials.
It is generally used for companies. But generally it's like it is used by all the big companies, and mostly they have their render farms. So like Disney has their own render farms, Pixar has its own render farms.
Yes.
But studios use it, but
I mean, what was the name of that cloud which you told?
I renderer. It will come up like
I render. Okay.
I'd used it like around 4 years back, like for a client project. So I told him that you can render it on your own, but like he said he wanted the final result, so I used it for that.
Okay, cool. So which are some of the blogs or YouTube channels you follow regularly? If you could share some of the names, that's very useful for the listeners.
Yeah, when it comes to Blender, like I follow them, like all the channels that generally people follow. I follow Blender Guru. Like he's a big name in the Blender space. And it's a very good channel for beginners. So if you want to learn Blender Guru, like he has one of the best videos like on Blender. So if you are a total beginner, you can just watch his videos and you'll have the knowledge of Blender. When it comes to Unreal Engine is very unique because they do their own live streams weekly. They have their own live streams, and they teach people. So industry experts, the people in the company, in their own company, when a new feature gets announced, they like they make a video about it and they like teach people. So there are weekly live streams. So I follow the primary Unreal Engine channel on YouTube. So that's very good for learning new features.
Any other channels? I mean,
actually, I don't watch YouTube.
Okay, so
I don't watch videos.
And
I used to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that I don't watch YouTube that much, because I'm like quite busy in the freelancing for companies and stuff. So like nowadays I'm not quite often like active on YouTube. I just make my video and I just like do my work. But
got it. I heard like Unreal also conducts this fellowship kind of things for teaching people, and that is also free, I guess. Have you heard?
So, I know about that. They conduct code camps, I think, learning camps. So you go to their website and you have to fill up a Google form, and like they'll take you. It spans for a month, I think. That course, it's a small course. So they'll teach you about a certain thing inside Unreal Engine, and all the industry experts will teach you that. And by the end of it, you will get projects. So you'll be working on live projects, and that's completely for free.
Wow,
so
that's
many
awesome.
Companies do this.
So I mean, the software itself is open source, and we are getting free training, that too industry relevant training. That's awesome, right?
It's pretty good.
You have a successful YouTube. I mean, how many subscribers you have? More than 15,000.
I just surpassed 20,000 subscribers.
Wow, congrats, man. So
that's a huge number. I can't believe it. Like it is a huge number.
Of course.
Especially for channels like us, especially for technical channels.
Educational channels.
It's a huge deal.
that's what I want to ask. How you're seeing the future of a YouTuber in this field, like game development, VFX, animation, and all this.
Yeah, YouTube is a very good place to like share your knowledge, and educational channels are always education is always important. So YouTube is a very good place to like spread what you know, to like spread your talent, to share your to share your work on like on the internet. YouTube is the best social media platform.
Yeah.
Like according to me, it is the best platform for our work.
Yeah,
So
I have seen some videos. Yeah, I have seen some videos of Ola drivers. Like they are making videos how to become like an Ola driver. So there are a lot of tutorials and tutorials for everything. So
there are
education,
a lot of topics.
Education is like kind of boom in the coming years, I would say.
Yeah, education is, and especially we are making this for free. So
that's
all our videos are free. So that is the best thing. It should be free. Right?
That's the best thing, like YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is very good.
Got it. We would love to see more tutorials of Blender as well as Unreal.
Yeah, actually, I stopped making Blender videos and people were like annoyed. So I'm coming back to that. I'm making Blender videos.
Yeah, even I'm one of them.
Yeah, Blender videos are coming.
Got it. So final question is like some generous tips and tricks for all the listeners in this podcast to succeed in their life and career.
Man, this is a big question.
Of course.
So, like I'll speak about like in the game development, like in the game industry, I'll speak about that. So if you are someone who wants to get into the game industry, you have to explore. Like you have to explore all these softwares, and you have to like build your skills in a particular thing. Like you have to build your own skills. And I'll just say this: education doesn't matter. Like colleges will not teach you and will not give you the knowledge that you get by learning these things on your own. And YouTube is the best place to do. And YouTube is the best place to do that. So like just start learning on YouTube. Just open up a tutorial and just start learning a software. And the more softwares you know, the better like you can get better at things. And then like industries want a person who is quite versatile. So like the more softwares you know, the better it is. So just start exploring. And you start learning things for free. Like you can learn things for free on YouTube.
Got it.
So the degrees and the certificates don't matter.
Of course.
Especially in the creative field. Like they're creative people. So
I mean, I have another question. Like, do you think programming is gonna be super important in the future?
Yeah, programming is like very important. And especially in my field, like programmers are paid a lot. And game developers are paid a lot. So basically there are two things. There are game designers and developers. So I am sort of a jack of all trades. I'm a generalist.
Wow.
So like I'm a generalist. So but like to be a generalist is quite important. So you should know a lot of things from different fields. Because game development and making games is not a easy thing. Like you have to know a lot of things, especially if you're making a game by yourself. You have to know like a lot of things: animation, modeling, like things from VFX, special effects. Like you have to know programming, of course. Then you have to know things about rendering and about technical art. So there are a lot of things that you need to know. Like if you are making a game by yourself.
Got it.
So yeah.
Got it. Thank you, Israel, for spending time with this podcast, and it was really informative. I personally learned a lot from this podcast, so I want to thank you from my heart. So, any final comments or suggestions?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. First of all, like it was a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. And the thing that you're doing is very good. Like keep on doing this. podcasts are very important, especially in this field. There are no podcasts related to like VFX and animation and game development. So like you are doing a great job.
Thank you. Got it. So thank you once again, Israel. See you soon.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was fun. Bye.
Bye-bye.